Public sector accounting is like the financial GPS for governments. It's how we track where taxpayer money goes. Think of it as a giant spreadsheet, but instead of boring numbers, it tells the story of how governments serve their citizens. From building roads to funding schools, public sector accounting keeps tabs on it all. Now you might be thinking, Trevor, why should I care about government accounting? Well, my friend, it's your money we're talking about. Public sector accounting ensures transparency and accountability. It lets you see how your hard-earned tax dollars are being spent. Without it, governments would be like a comedy show without punchlines, confusing and pointless. Public sector accounting helps governments make informed decisions, prioritize spending, and ultimately be more accountable to the people they serve. So the next time you see a news report about government finances, remember public sector accounting is the unsung hero working behind the scenes. It's the financial watchdog that keeps our governments honest and our money safe. Public sector accounting isn't just about crunching numbers, it's a multi-step process. First, we have recording. Every financial transaction, from a teacher's salary to the purchase of office supplies, gets logged. Think of it as taking meticulous notes, except with spreadsheets instead of notebooks. Next up, we have communicating. This is where the finance folks put on their translator hats. They take all that financial data and present it in a way that even politicians can understand, hopefully. Then comes summarizing, where we condense all those transactions into digestible reports. It's like taking a long, rambling story and turning it into a tweet, short, sweet, and to the point. But we're not done yet. Next, we analyze those reports to understand spending patterns, identify potential savings, and make sure everything adds up. It's like being a financial detective, searching for clues in a sea of numbers. Finally, we have interpreting. This is where we take all that data and turn it into actionable insights. It's like the aha moment when you finally understand a joke. It all clicks into place. Now let's talk about the unsung heroes who collect all this financial data, the ministries, departments and agencies, or MDAs for short. These are the folks on the front lines, ensuring every dollar spent is accounted for. Think of MDAs as the branches of a giant tree, each responsible for a specific area of government. You've got your education department, your health department, your transportation department, you name it, there's an MDA for that. These MDAs are like the financial reporters of the government. They keep track of their spending, collect receipts, and send all that information up the chain to the finance gurus. It's a massive collaborative effort, like a giant game of financial hot potato. But instead of losing, everyone wins when the numbers add up. Without MDAs diligently collecting and reporting financial data, the entire public sector accounting system would crumble like a bad joke. They're the foundation upon which transparency and accountability are built. Section 4. Keeping score. Accounting bases in the public sector. Now, you can't talk about accounting without mentioning accounting bases. No, we're not talking about baseball diamonds here. In the accounting world, bases refer to the timing of when revenues and expenses are recognized. The public sector uses two main bases, cash basis and accrual basis. Cash basis is like keeping track of your finances in your head. You only record transactions when money actually changes hands. It's simple, but it doesn't give you a complete picture of your financial health. Accrual basis, on the other hand, is like using a budgeting app. It tracks both cash transactions and outstanding obligations. This means that even if you haven't paid a bill yet, it still gets factored into your financial statements. Accrual accounting gives a more accurate picture of a government's financial position. Choosing the right accounting basis is like choosing the right punchline. It can make or break the joke. The goal is to select a basis that provides the most relevant and reliable information for decision-making. Section 5. The public's money, from receipt to disbursement. Let's follow the money trail, shall we? Public funds go through a rigorous process from the moment they're received to when they're spent. First, we have receipt. This is where the government collects money from taxes, fees, and other sources. Think of it as the government's inbox, constantly flooded with payments from hardworking taxpayers. Next, we have custody. This is where the money is safely stored, like a vault guarded by 1,000 accountants. Okay, maybe not 1,000, but you get the idea. The government takes custody of public funds very seriously. It's not like they can just leave it lying around like loose change. Finally, we have disbursement. This is where the money is actually spent on government programs and services. Think of it as the government's outbox, where money flows out to pay for everything from road repairs to teacher salaries. The entire process, receipt, custody, and disbursement, is subject to strict controls and oversight. After all, we're talking about the public's money here, and every penny counts. Section 6. Accountability, the heart of public sector accounting. Now let's talk about the heart of public sector accounting, accountability. This is all about ensuring that governments are responsible stewards of public funds. It's like having a financial watchdog, making sure every dollar is spent wisely and effectively. Public sector accounting provides the framework for accountability. It allows us to track how money is collected, managed, and spent. It helps prevent fraud, waste, and abuse by shining a light on government finances. Accountability is not just about catching the bad guys. It's also about ensuring that governments are delivering on their promises. By tracking spending and measuring outcomes, public sector accounting helps us determine whether government programs are effective and efficient. In a nutshell, public sector accounting is the bedrock of good governance. It ensures transparency, promotes accountability, and ultimately helps build trust between governments and the people they serve.